Here in Blue Studio, I am welcoming Dr. Lindsey Rummings all the way from San Diego, California. Woo, woo. Hold on. We have a button for that, don't we? Somewhere. I'm not going to get that cheesy. It's fine. Hi. Welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
You know, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
A beautiful day in the neighborhood. So what brings you all the way out here from California?
You know, just wanted to see the lay of the land of Oklahoma.
Like literally the lay of the land.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. But
Drink beer, go to the lake.
I had some Brahms ice cream, so that was good.
Yeah. Blessed with Brahms. Yeah. You got to go to Brahms when you come here. That's good. So what are you doing out in California?
I am doing my home health physical therapy while enjoying life, being a content creator all around San Diego.
Okay, cool. How long have you been involved in that stuff, in the content creation game?
I've started back in 2015. It's definitely helped that I do a lot of modeling for fashion shows, for commercials, and all that other fun stuff. And so I kind of was like, oh, I can do this myself. And phones are easy to record stuff. So here we are, content creator.
Yeah, right. You were telling me that you wanted to get more involved into the products, like the Amazon reviews and stuff. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So like just any kind of product, like you were looking at the furniture in my apartment, my house, and been like, oh, I could do a review on that.
Yeah. I mean, why not niche out instead of just fashion stuff? You have stuff every day in your house from Amazon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you do any makeup reviews? That's a common thing I see on Leslie's TikTok.
I can't do makeup. That's why I get my makeup done by somebody else.
Oh, really?
But I can tell that it's nice makeup on me. But when I try to do exactly what they do, it looks nothing like it.
So you're a doctor?
Mm-hmm. A physical therapy.
Okay. And you're kind of doing that every day with the content creation stuff more as a hobby on the side and for fun?
Yeah. So I love my job as a physical therapist. I definitely love helping people and seeing how movement can really benefit us, regardless if you're 35, got hit by a car, or if you're 101. Moving, as they say, motion is lotion.
Actually, I haven't heard that. Is that what they say?
That's what they say in the physical therapy world.
I broke my wrist and a hairline fracture. They said to do physical therapy, but I didn't.
You didn't. Well,
Should I have?
I mean, you can do it yourself and kind of, first you got to stabilize, but then you have to, if you keep it stable for too long, you're going to be stuck there. You got to move it or you lose it.
Move it or lose it. All right. So do you work with Dr. John Meisner at Back to Play out there at all in the physical therapy? Like, do you guys ever cross paths?
I could. I just haven't put my foot in the door to be able to have that
Haven't got there yet?
Yeah.
Have you been to New York?
Yes. I've actually had a billboard on Times Square.
What? What was that like?
Unreal.
Is that what this is?
Mm-hmm.
You got to get a picture of this and put it in your clip.
It's framing.
That's cool. So how did that work? Was that like with a brand deal or something, or?
So I work with Pinay Magazine. I'm one of their ambassadors. It's just representing Filipinas around the world. And so somehow they chose me. I'm kind of cool. But I've had probably over 50 different billboards around the world with them.
Is this another one in Vegas?
Yeah. So we had a 6-month residency there, and we'll have one coming up here shortly for another few months.
That's got to feel pretty cool, right?
When you're sleeping and you wake up and open the blinds and, oh, there you are.
When, do you remember, like, are these new or is this something that's like been happening? Like,
it's been happening. My last one was in Denver, downtown. We went during the Taylor Swift concert, so that was a little bit crazy, but maybe she saw my face on a billboard. Who knows? Yeah.
Maybe her manager wrote your name down and was like, oh, we got to use her for a cover.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. So do you remember the moment where you kind of saw something like that? You're like, oh my God.
Yeah, I have no words. I'm like, are you sure that's me?
Do you see that? Does that happen every time, or are you used to it by now?
It still happens every time, but then when you spend the time to take photos and prove that you were there and you actually saw it, it gets old. But, you know, that first glance, you're just like, oh, that's really me. Like, I can't believe it. I'm a small town girl from Colorado, and I moved to San Diego, one, for school, and I knew I wanted to do physical therapy, but I found another passion along the way.
So you've been in New York, California, Denver, Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. You've been around, you've branded yourself or with somebody or an association of some sort in a handful of major cities. Is there anywhere outside of the U.S.? Because you mentioned Filipino, right?
They're working on a deal right now in the Philippines at one of the major trafficking areas. The EDSA, I think. So they're working on that brand deal, so I should be able to be there. I've also been in, I think it was Dubai was one of my first billboards, but I didn't get to go. But they're working on another one in Dubai.
With you?
With me, yeah.
What? So do you have to go to Dubai now?
I mean, if I'm going to be there, yeah.
Okay, all right.
So they've kind of given me the opportunity to travel, so it kind of gives me the excuse that, oh, hey, like you got a billboard coming up, and I'm like, oh, I guess I got to go see it for myself, because for me, if I don't see it in real life, I'm like, did it really happen?
Are you compensated depending on where it's placed, or are you just compensated for the shoot?
It depends.
Okay.
So the last few ones, we were compensated before, but the other ones, it was per billboard. So
gotcha.
Because
sometimes like an agency or a brand could just pay a creator or an artist or whatever have you, like a one-time licensing fee, and just be like, hey, we're just going to, use your face or whatever on the billboard, and then here's $100, $1,000, $10,000, whatever it is. But then there's also some instances where it's like, no, we're going to do a deal to where like we're going to do the photo shoot, we're going to compensate you for that, or whatever the package is. Then we're going to we need you out there in front of the billboard to prove that, it's you or whatever, or maybe it's a bonus. And then we're going to compensate you to be able to put you out on the billboard. So you can kind of like almost stage it or get paid in multiple ways.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For me, like I said, I love it. And sometimes it's more of a hobby. But then as opportunities present itself, I kind of am learning as I go and just going with the flow. And also, I have no idea about a lot of these like content creating, influencing, modeling, all the different, like how much do you get paid? What do you get paid? What do you ask for? All of the questions. So I like learning and having the new opportunities to grow in different ways. I'm not just a doctor of physical therapy. I'm not just a content creator. I'm all of these little things that make up who Lindsey is.
That's cool. I like that. I'm kind of like that. I'm not just the guy that does marketing or just the guy that does podcast or whatever it is. Like I'm a dad and a brother, and the list goes on. The titles are great. Do any of these moments scare you?
Yeah, all the time. I think that's the one thing, if you have huge followings or you become famous, you kind of worry about what everyone thinks. And that's kind of one of my downfalls, or I always am like, oh, well, this person's going to think this. Oh, she sounds stupid, or she looks like she's trying too hard, or she's not trying too hard. But at the end of the day, I'm learning to just be who I am. And if you accept it, yay. If you don't, turn me off or unfollow me or do what you have to do, because I'm trying to be unapologetically me.
And you can't be everything for everybody.
No, as much as I want to be the coolest person, the best person, the kindest person, the best doctor, I know I'm not, but I'm just trying my best, and I will give you that as much as I can.
Like, you can only be better than you were yesterday. Try to be a little bit better every day. One of the things that, are you into the whole Apple products and stuff? Do you ever watch their annual WW, whatever it is, conferences where they show the new Apple products? Do you ever watch those?
I can't say I do.
So there's a video where they do that every single September for, I don't know, the last decade. But there's a collage of the CEO, Tim Cook's, and his thing is he goes, it's the best we've ever made. It's the best we have. It is the better than we've ever done, or whatever it is, some variation of that, to where it's, you think that it is better than everyone else. It's like, well, no, if you think about it, the way he said it was that he's just better than the way that they were last year. He's not saying that it's the best product, but you hear that, and it's been so repetitive that you're like, okay, this is good stuff. And they've kind of like just gotten everyone into a cult following.
You're not wrong. But I mean, when I have traveled abroad, when I was in China, when I was in Peru, Apple products weren't really a thing. So as much like when you're in your own world and you hear about all these products that are amazing, that's all this, but then you also have to think we're a global world. So we have all our Apple products here and we think it's the biggest thing, but there's also so many other products that are so awesome that we should give a chance. I like giving everyone a chance and hearing about different things, but I love to hear when you compare it to yourself at the same time.
Is there any way to market or advertise yourself to try to get new eyeballs on your personal brand? Like, is there anything that you do to where it's like, oh, like I'm trying to get the attention of this particular brand or artist, and so I try to make content geared towards that? Or are you kind of just going with the wind and whoever catches you, catches you?
Correct. I mean,
Okay, yeah. And I'm not saying either one's good or bad. I just didn't know if you had like a, particular direction.
I want to go in a direction, but then I have all the other directions that I want to go to. So I'm just in the middle looking at each road. And like I said, I don't want to put myself in a box. And if people want to work with me, they see that, I like different stuff. Everyone likes different stuff. So whether it's fashion, if it's health, if it's modeling, if it's being on a podcast, like I don't ever want to shut a door. I mean, I understand you can become great at a niche and you can dominate it. But to me, that kind of gets a little boring. Why not just kind of dabble your toes in a little bit of this and a little bit of that? Like I said, no one is just all strictly fashion in our heads. It's fashion, food, lifestyle, restaurants, travel. And so I want to show people that I'm a person with various interests just like you.
One of the people that's really confused a lot of people, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was a bodybuilder until I believe 2021. Then he became an actor for the next decade of his life, a little over the next 10, 15 years of his life. And then he went into politics, and now he's kind of a little bit more into philanthropy. And he smokes cigars in his spa in Denver or wherever he is in Colorado. But like he's versatile. I like the versatility part, but I agree it's good to be diverse, and a lot of people want to put you in a box. And like with him, there's a whole documentary on Netflix. It's amazing. But everyone wants to put him in a box. Oh, you're a bodybuilder. You can't be an actor. Oh, you're an actor. You can't be in politics. You can't be the governor of California. Are you crazy? You weren't even born here or whatever it is, I feel like everyone wants to put you in a box, but then I think there's a lot of us there's more depth or more diversity to all of us. But everyone's like, oh, I saw you in health. You just must be health. You're like, no, it's what I like. Yeah. But like, I like coffee. I'll do a lot of coffee videos or whatever for my content. Mm-hmm. But then I'll also do like some family stuff, or I'll do some business stuff, or I don't know, whatever it is. And I feel like sometimes it hinders you if you don't really niche.
I mean, I definitely think it could, but
that's just not what I like though. Like, I don't want to be known just for one thing.
I mean, it could, but then at the end of the day, like for me, I'm doing my content for myself because I like, it's something I enjoy. It becomes not just like a hobby, not just work. It becomes what I love to do. And if, few people don't, 1,000 people, maybe 1 million, don't want to follow me because I'm not into that specific niche, then you just missed out on some great, content, fashion stuff, coffee stuff, whatever.
It's almost like vlogging, right? Like miniature vlogging along the way. Like it's like, I'm going to share what I like.
Yeah, this is my life, and you're watching it. You can scroll next or do whatever you want to do, but I'm doing me.
What's been your favorite opportunity that you've had? Is there something that stands out where you're like, oh, this was really cool when I got to work with this brand and travel out here, or this clothing line, or I got some free stuff and that was really cool. Is there anything in particular that stood out like that?
I mean, all the things, clothing items,
so
makeup.
I'm looking at your Instagram and it's rumming through the 6. Okay. On Instagram. So you got a lot of stuff for clothes?
Yeah, I get a lot of stuff for clothes, but I think for me is kind of more the modeling stuff. Like, I get to my boyfriend and I sometimes model together, and so we've done a lot of wedding different shoots. And
I've seen that.
So we get to basically have a wedding without having to pay for it. So I've done weddings, $20,000 worth of weddings, had cake, had my mom zip up the dress, had a harp player, had people attend the ceremony, had the justice of the peace.
Just for the shoot?
Just for the shoot. Everyone needs marketing. And so if you're putting on the shoot and you need, content or marketing stuff, they literally hire us to have us there for the day. They have the chef there. They have the whole reception. They have letters. I think that's another cool thing that I do so many styled shoots because it seems like it's the real thing. We had an inflatable bouncy house at one. We had cocktails. We had popcorn. Like, it's the whole party, and I don't have to pay anything for it, and I get
How many
paid.
times have you been married?
Honestly,
You and JP been married, right?
well, we probably been married like 10 different times on social media, but with my wedding stuff I've done, I probably, since 2015, I've been doing bridal wear. So I've been married to multiple men.
This is cool. This is cool. Yeah, I always see you and JP all the time on this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Are you guys at those weddings all the time? But I was like, no. Like,
No.
this makes sense now.
No, but yeah, it's
That's
always, I don't always show everything about my life on social media, as does anyone, but I show the moments that I enjoy and have fun with. If just an outfit check or what we're wearing, what we're eating, our experiences, and what makes us who we are. That's what I kind of try to showcase. And I know I'm not perfect, but I try to show what I like, and maybe someone out there likes that one little thing, and just because they saw it on my page, they're like, oh, maybe that's something for me.
It's cool. Think of anything else? Any other thoughts, questions, concerns, comments, haikus?
No. I'm not one for talk. Like, I'd love to have a vlog or something like that, a podcast, but I also don't like talking in front of people. I'm more of a listener. I will listen the heck out of you and not give you advice, but I'm always observing, and I'll kind of react to how people are, how they treat other people. When I'm not talking, I'm just observing and seeing how people are.
Do you like to people watch?
I'm a people watcher. Yeah, I will.
You and Leslie would sit in the corner
Mm-hmm.
of a bar and just sip and not even talk, but just sit there and watch people.
But that, for me, it's just even about being by the people. Maybe I'm not necessarily always talking to people, but having people around like that I like and I make friends with, and just sitting with them, eating, laughing, watching TV, watching a football game, or watching a concert. For me, that's one of my ways to show that I love you, spending time with you.
That's cool.
I have formulated stuff, words and stuff in my head, but it just never comes out how I want to do it. So like even with John, I tell him that how I love you is that I like to spend time with you, quality time, whether it's just you, with your friends, with your family, or just know that I'm there, just maybe not verbally, but I'm there to hang out.
Just because you don't say something doesn't mean you're not having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of people are like, oh, you don't talk a lot. But once you kind of get to know me, I open up and talk more and more. But at first, like I say, I'm always assessing, I'm observing and thinking how I'm going to act. But I guess people say that's a Capricorn thing. I don't really know. That's just me.
I'm an Aquarius.
An Aquarius. Do you know anything about Aquarius?
I mean, enough to know about me. But
That's true. But yeah, Capricorns, I guess, are very serious in nature, and I've always been that way. So when I have like a task at hand, I will be focused, and you can't really pull me from my focus. I will get it done, and then I'll be back to be like, woohoo.
do you hyper focus?
I hyper
Kind of zone out on whatever that task is?
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
like I say, with anything, I really try to put my 100% in it. I don't try to skip out and take the easy road. Like when I say I'm going to do something, I will go gung-ho with it and do it to the best of my ability. And if people like it, they do. If they don't, bye.
Fair enough. How do I get a hold of you if I need to hire you?
Well, you like, subscribe, and comment to not my channel that I don't have on YouTube, but maybe one day. But I mostly use Instagram. That's how
Okay.
people get a hold of me. But I'm always down for modeling shoot. I mean, the thing I started with content creating was modeling first, and then I was like, oh, I can take pictures and videos and put it on Instagram, and then people started reaching out to me. And so I preferred just doing the modeling stuff and having someone else shoot it and edit it and do all of that. I just like being the body in space and time. But I can create stuff when, if need be, and there's not someone else there. But I just like being hired as a model and smiling, being serious, or whatever.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile
Yeah,
and wave.
or whatever they need me for, I'll do it.
That's cool.
I prefer smiley and like commercial styled stuff rather than high fashion, because that's a little intense and not who I am. Smiling and laughing and lifestyle comes more to me than talking or being on a show or something like that. But if you tell me to do a task, I'll do it.
And your Instagram handle?
At Rumming, RUMMINGS. Oh, wait, there's no S in it. Rumming through the 6 with the number 6.
RUMMINGTHE, the 6.
Close. We forgot the through. I think I spelled through. It's very long.
So your Instagram handle?
RUMMING through, spelled all the way through, the 6.
Rumming through the 6. That's your Instagram. Awesome. So congratulations. You get 62,500 followers and stuff. So, like, I know you put in some work into that. So
It's crazy. I don't know how people like me sometimes.
the right people.
The right people.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
And if you don't, then bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, thanks for coming in to Tulsa. Welcome to Tulsa. And I know you're leaving tomorrow. So I hope to make it out to California yet again. It'll be my 3rd or 4th time out to Cali. So stay with you guys. Maybe crash for a few days. Come back over the weekend. I don't know. Try to plan something like that maybe next summer.
But late summer, not the summer you think is summer, because in June, July, it's cloudy in San Diego, which a lot of people don't realize. So come
September.
August, September, that's like the San Diego summer that a lot of people don't know of. So all the tourists leave, and then all the locals come out to play. So even when I travel, I like to be around the locals and see what they do. Of course, see the tourist attractions, but I like seeing what local people do. Like, you know, where do they eat? Where do they go for fun? Not just seeing, oh, you got to go to this, you got to go to that with visiting. But I like seeing who you guys are and what makes people who they are.
Yeah. This will be a bonus episode of the Brews Business Podcast, streaming live here at the Blue Studio. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And go follow Dr. Lindsey Rummings on Instagram, Rumming Through the 6. Thank you again, and everyone have a great day.
Bye.
Bye. She's like, bye.